Okay, hello, it's Paul Green here from the business community, doing another one of our regular Spotlight On. And today I'm happy to be joined by Ashish Kumar from Web Alliance. Hi, Ashish.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
Good, thank you very much. So what we're going to do is find out a little bit more about Ashish's business, how he got to be where he is today, maybe sort of like learn some of the challenges that he's faced along the way, and also later in this episode, what he's going to do is just sort of share some of his top tips, given his knowledge of experience in the software world. So Ashish, for people that might not know you, just want to do a quick introduction of you and your business?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Ashish Kumar. We are Northampton-based software development company, and we develop basically adaptable software, which we learn how our client work, so that they don't have to learn the software. So that's kind of a work we do.
Okay, so you came over to this country a few years back, and I think you've told this story before, but I'm quite interested for you to share it for people. So things didn't quite go according to plan, did they, when you first arrived in England?
Yes, as you can make out from my lovely accent, I'm from India, and I came here not from India, but from East Africa, a country called Tanzania. I was working there for around 3.5 years, and from there we came here on September 2007, and on HSMP visa, as I said, and one of my friend's friend supposed to come and pick us up, and there is no surprise, he didn't turn up. And from the airport, literally, we were not sure where to go. So that kind of a scary feeling. And we gone to Travel Lodge, and from there they said you have to go to estate agent. From estate agent, they asked me about utility bill, some references. I said, I don't know anybody in this country. But I had a bit of a money, so I given 6 months rent in advance, and that's how everything is started. And it was a rocky start because there is no driving license, no car, travel by bus. Everything is new, and on top, 11 months old child. So yeah, you can say it was a very, very rocky start. But yeah, God is great. In like 13 years time, I got enough off from that country. So yeah.
And what was it? Was it always the plan to start a software business, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I don't know whether it is blessing in disguise or something, but I always worked in a smaller sort of a company. So I always worked in a software company, but not in a very big multi-million business where I don't know what's happening with other departments. I always worked with around 25 to 45 people company. So it's quite reasonable size. And because of that, I tend to know how the clients are being introduced to the business, and do the requirement analysis, and how the software development cycle goes along, and at the end of it, how we can provide them with a valuable support and everything. So in other words, right from the beginning to the end, I was always involved with everything. And that gave me a kind of a confidence that if I can do that, good for other people, because that's what you need. If you run for your own business, you need to know what is, how to bring people in the doors, and what to do with them to make them satisfied customer, and then maintain them. So that, I think, drove me and my wife both to in the direction of starting something of our own.
Mm-hmm. So you got quite an interesting model, because I'm sure, like a lot of people listening, going back in the past, a number of people have probably had maybe a bad experience of using overseas software suppliers. So what's your approach, and how do you overcome anybody that's sort of like hesitant with using offshore services?
When I used to work for other companies in Birmingham and in Northampton, it is always a dream for every software company in the UK that they can use a reliable offshore partner. Fine. But there is one reason why it 90% of the time didn't work, or put it that way, it works from the in the start, and then for maybe a year or year and a half, and then gradually it is started to fade up. The reason is, I think it is a kind of a tendency as well of any company. If I myself outsource to any other company in India, though I know the language, I know the people, I know the culture, despite of that, it will not be a success because I will not have much control over the process of that company. They got me as a client. Now they want to grow, of course, everybody wants, and then they will shift their focus from me to next client, and that's why things started to go down. And for me, it is working because in India I have got my own office, and my brother as a manager manages those eight guys, and they come in the morning, they go in the evening, and then they work for us. So it is my own company there as well. So I think if people or any company in the UK want that offshore arrangement to work, then they need to put a bit more into it so that they can have either someone who they can trust and put them offshore so that they can be of a greater control. Then it will work.
So I guess you've got the sort of like local project management, so people have got that interface, and then it's family in India, so you're going to be looked after from that point of view. So it's a good model, I think, and it's worked very, very well for you, hasn't it?
Yes, and you do treat the people over there as well as if they are partner in your business as well. It's not only just take the maximum out of them, not give enough back. So yeah, we do have a overtime scheme there, which most of the Indian companies, they don't talk overtime at all. If I want my staff to be working half an hour more, I pay them for that half an hour as well. So these small things, and once in a year we take them to somewhere on the holiday and all inclusive kind of a thing, they should also feel like they're part of a ship. That's when it will sail for longer.
Mm-hmm. So I know from speaking to you that a lot of your business has come through networking, which is great. And I guess it's fair to say, when you started out networking, it was something that was totally new to you. So there might be people, again, sort of like listening or watching this, that might be a little bit anxious about going out networking. I mean, what would your advice be to them, and what was your experience of networking and how it contributed to your business?
When I started my own business, I knew I need to do something to bring people through the door. And networking is the last thing I would have imagined, because right from the childhood, I was very, very introvert. I don't, speak to people comfortably, and this is, I don't know whether many of you know or not, I have gone into computing just because of the fact that I don't have to talk to people, and that's what I did for 15 long years. I was just behind my screen, and I, from morning to evening, just need to talk to my team leader there, just to give and take the work. And all my friends from the college and uni, they have gone to do the MBA and management course, and I left all of them just because I knew my skills and my strong points. I can't be there to sell. I can't really comfortable selling anything. But when I started my own business, and basically it's my wife who just gave me a nudge. Nudge is a very soft word. They just kick me in my butt to just go out there and do. And I know initially you will have a trouble, but eventually you will get used to it. And I still remember around 5 years back when I gone to Buscom and all these networking events, when my turn of 45 seconds come, my heart is in my mouth. I couldn't really, at the end of 45 seconds, I was huffing and puffing as I have run for a 1 mile run. So, but if you try something with full heart and devotion, there is no stopping point. I think success is all about pushing your boundaries. So if someone is out there who think networking is not for them, then yeah, give it a thought, because if I can do, then I can bet anyone can do it, because everything was against me going out there and sell. But having said that, if I have not done that, then I don't know where I would have been in my business, because networking is a integral part of our marketing now, and I can't believe running so smoothly without it. We are a member of Chamber of Commerce, Buscom, Talk, BNI, so it is integral part, as I said, and I can't function without it now.
Yeah. And you've handed that baton down a little bit, haven't you? You took on, I don't know whether you consider them apprentices, but two young men joined the business, I think, a couple of years ago, Jaden and Alan. So tell us a little bit about bringing them on board and what the intention of that was.
Yes, because we do offer a support packages as well, and as you know, we do a software which can run the entire business for our clients. Fine, and if a business is run on a software, then it does need a proper support, and we do get a call from some clients a daily basis. And now we have got around 50 live software where we were used to get a lot of calls, which I and my wife and Damien have to handle, which is too much for any of us to handle at any time. So we thought to bring some new blood into a company. Of course, they don't have to do anything technically, because it is all done offshore in India, but they have to, understand the requirement from our clients and pass it over, so that programmers can, understand them better, and then get the work back, test them a bit, and then pass it down to clients. So these two, Alan and Jaden, they are helping us quite a lot in support. And that was the idea right from the beginning, that if we want to grow, we need to take some people on who will take care of support. And I myself and Damien involved in more of a implementation and a first line support, where a software goes into a live stage, and then after that, for a month or something, you need a rigorous support to iron out any issues and stuff like that. So I do work there. I have taken a bit of a pause from networking, just because I need to streamline a bit more stuff at my end, and then I know I belong there, and I do now love talking to people and get some more work that way. So yeah.
So how have they found it since? I know Jaden comes to the BuzzCon meetings. He's doing a good job representing your business. I guess he must have been a bit nervous when you first suggested it.
Yes, because he don't drive at the minute, and when everything became online, so he himself came and said, if you need any hand, I am ready to sub for you at BNI, and I can go to Talk and Buscom. He liked Buscom because of the format over BNI and stuff, which is quite regimental. He said, this is his own word, like, I do like to go to Buscom quite often, because you do talk, what is the like a question you ask at the end of 45 seconds, some personality come out of you as well, and then there is a one-to-one, and that is how you get to know other people. And that's why I'm sending him more and more to Buscom rather to the other groups. But he's getting along well, but the long-term plan is to come back, and then I use him as a backup to replace me every now and then.
Well, he's doing a good job, Ashish. So you needn't worry for now. Some people will be familiar with sort of Simon Sinek's the sort of why you're in business. So what is it that sort of like gets you out of bed? What's your sort of like driving, I guess, emotional connection to your business?
Yeah, this is, I realized when I was doing a course with Jackie Sherman, because that is her thing, that you should know why, like ECC, you should know why you are doing what you're doing. So that's when I realized like it is inbuilt in you right from the childhood, like, My father was working remotely all the time, and I was left alone for certain years when I was in my GCSEs, and I was not very academic like a child. But since then, I have done bit all right. I was second class altogether. It's not like a star kind of a student. And moreover, it is a helping hand as well. I would like to help people, because I have seen some vulnerability in myself itself, so that how I can connect to my clients. And having said that, when I used to work for other software companies in the UK as well, I have seen a kind of a very worrying emotion in my client's eye, that even though it is not a 3 hour worth of work, then also they have been charged for 3 hours, and it is nothing that they can do about it. Fine. So I thought, if I can help these people moving forward, then I can set up my own company. And then the ethos of my business is deal everybody, treat everyone with a fair amount of gesture. Like, you can earn your money, but it should be ethical enough, because as you can also believe, say suppose your buscom software I manage, and if it breaks or it needs some work, then your business is dependent on that up to some extent. Fine. And if you come tomorrow and say, Ashish, I want these things to be added in, if I say it will take £5,000, then it won't leave many options with you. You have to do that at some stage. And the ethos of that is, what we believe is, if you believe in relationship, then money follows. So that kind of my why in the business is to give. And one more thing that I just would like to mention, that for some reason a bespoke work in this country is a very, very expensive. It can cost you arm and leg. And I'm just filling the gap between off the shelf and bespoke, and SMEs in the middle. They don't have any option to either select spreadsheets or any cheap off the shelf, but they can't put their hand on bespoke. So I'm just filling that gap, and I'm quite happy to work with owner managed businesses. I don't want to work with enterprises and multi-million pound where I'm just a supplier. My like thing is, when I see the glitter in my client's eye, that, oh, whatever you have done is taken my business to another level, that's what drives us. So that's why in my business.
Well, it certainly helped me grow my business, as we've evolved the software that you do. Because I think we originally started off with just doing the one-to-one pairings. I think that was the first project.
Yeah.
And then over time, we've just sort of like evolved that. And the amount of hours in a week that it saves me with what would be, administrative stuff, obviously gives me that back to sort of focus on growing my business and looking at, different projects and stuff like that. And, we've evolved it over time. I've given you a few challenges, the next one being this sort of like mix of virtual and physical meetings going forward. And, it's I'm confident that you can develop the system and bring it on, to help me, manage that conflict with physical and virtual meetings, which up until this current situation would have never been an issue. So again, it's having that flexibility for you to evolve the software as my business evolves or is impacted by other things outside of our control.
Yeah, absolutely. And then business always changes, Paul, isn't it? Something, if you're growing, then of course it has to grow with you. Software must have to, grow or shrink with the business. So that's what is all about, I think.
Absolutely. So you've touched on it a little bit, but what would you say makes you different from your competitors? Do you have many competitors in this domain, would you say?
Yes, we do. We do have quite a number of other software companies who we are very good friends of, and this might be because I believe there is enough work out there. You can't steal my work, I can't steal their work. That's why we get along very well with all our competition as well. And I would say why we are different is we are quite a client-centric company, as I mentioned earlier as well. We think about the client interest first, then our interest. Fine. If our client is happy, then eventually we will be happy as well. And in this software business, unfortunately, our industry as a software development company is not very well reputed because sometimes people treat us as opportunists. As I mentioned, if I have the access of all your software and everything, then I can charge whatever I like for the service which I'm providing. Fine. And in this industry, whoever is writing the code, fine, the copyright is there. Say suppose I write the buscom software, then I have a copyright, and if you want to move away from me, then I can charge you 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever, if you want your software again. But this is not fair. You have paid me for the job and I have done the job, taken the money. Now that software ethically belong to you. But this is a rule in England, and I think in Scotland as well. Whoever writes the code, IP is theirs. And when I used to work for other companies, they also sell the software 2 times. One when we have engagement and everything, and then second when they depart from our company, again have to pay 30, 40, 50,000 depending upon the size of the software, which I believe is absolutely rubbish. It should not be the case. That's why what we do, which none of our competition do, is we tell them right in the proposal document that you will own the copyright for any XYZ reason. If you're not happy with us, you can take your software and go to any other software company you like. I think people don't do it because they are afraid. If we do that, then we are opening a channel so that a client can slip off. But what I believe, if somebody is not happy with you, then there is no point of that bickering relationship. Nobody will be happy. So work with the people who you like to work with, and who do you get along with very well. So I believe in that, and then I write in the proposal document that whatever software we will build, you will be the owner of that. So that's how I believe we are different from our competition.
No, absolutely. So as we're recording this, we're in not sure it's lockdown 2.0 or tier 0.0 now, whatever it is. So that's obviously been a big challenge for most businesses. Outside of that, Ashish, on your business journey, what would you say the biggest challenges that you have found?
As I touched on this before as well, lockdown and everything is not a real challenge because, it affected me in March and April time. Business was right down. Nobody was, able to start. But after that, I have a very nice upliftment from there. We got enough work since June, July. The real challenge for me, as I mentioned, sales and marketing. But that is also now settling down, but still in my business career, I found that as my biggest challenge because I had to push my boundaries in order to get overcome it. And I'm quite glad that I did it. And moving forward as well, I would like to do a bit more work in marketing, especially now. I have done Jelly Futures, multiple session on sales. I have done Sandler, full 1 year training on sales. That gave me enough confidence is to, as I told you, I was 15-year work as a technical person. I knew nothing about sales and marketing, but now I'm much more confident when it comes to sales and marketing, but I still have to do a bit more to get, a soothing growth. I do have a growth, but it is bit of a curvy. So I would like that curve to be a bit more flattened, and hopefully, we are on the right path though. But
I think that's the challenge. And it's a challenge for most small businesses, actually, are the peaks and troughs that you get in a business. So, you have to ride the waves, don't you, as it were. Okay, so Ashish, you've kindly agreed to educate us about something in your domain. So I'm going to put you on full screen. I'm going to hand it over to you just for you to, well, do exactly what I said. Just sort of like give us a little bit of a few top tips or your thoughts on, software and the development. So I'll just put you on full screen, and I'll hand it over to you. The floor is yours, Ashish.
Thank you very much, Paul. Many prospects come to me and ask, at what stage business need a bespoke software? I believe this is a phased-wise approach. To start with, when the business is new, they have launched just now, they don't need bespoke software at all. Fine. They are good to go because they don't know how to store their data. They don't know how to manage their content and everything. So to start with, even a spreadsheet or any basic free off the shelf is good to go. Once they have passed that stage, now they know what to store, how to store, then off the shelf solution is equally good. And once they pass that stage, they have grown their business. Now they work in a particular manner. Then I would say is a time to look for something which will fit their box, because now the box is ready. They can put something in there and then they can grow the business. So I think spreadsheet off the shelf and then come bespoke. And many times people come to us and then we say, no, you are not ready for bespoke software as it, because it's a one-time opportunity. Use it when it's the right time for your business. So this is, I would absolutely say, have a big bespoke software when it is a time to go. And many people say how to choose a bespoke software over an app. People are a bit confused there, whether they should use app or not. App is nothing but a reduced version of a software. Fine. Like if you use any banking app, you will have a full app, a full software, and then a reduced version of that software onto the app. And app is particularly useful if you have a returning customers. If someone comes to us and want to spend 40-50 grand on app, we say you don't need app. In your kind of a business, people have to come and then use you for maybe 15-20 days and here they go. Fine. So you are better off with a cloud-based system which will cost you half of the money than you will expend on app. App is much more expensive, very hard to maintain, and any changes on app will cost you 2 or 3 times. And then people ask about the support. Do I have to take a support package? And my answer to that is, if you are going for especially bespoke software, then of course talk about support right from the beginning, because without maintenance, a bespoke software is no success, because it will manage your whole show, and without having someone supporting it, you will not sustain that, because however emphasis you put to start with, it will, at times you need to add something to it, you need to tweak it, so you need to have a support system in place as well. So I would say, if you're going for a bespoke software, then talk to that company for the support beforehand. So yeah, that's all about it.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Just to let you know, we had a few people tune in. So Sonny, who you'll know from the Northants Chamber, just sort of like saying inspiring stuff that you were sharing. Paul Bone, who I know you network with, was talking about your initial when you first came over to the UK, and then Damien is in Ireland at the moment, so he's tried to tune on 3G. So I don't know how long he lasted. And then an anonymous LinkedIn person just sort of said what a great ethical company is that you run. So
that's good to know.
So just one final thing then, if you were to have one sort of top tip for any business owners out there, what would your top tip be?
I would say, be yourself. Don't pretend to be someone else. Fine. And be ethical and do what you said you are going to do. In any business you are in, you will drive and thrive. That's it. Don't cheat. Or in terms of bespoke software, there is no end, or you can't put everything in a specification document. So yeah, be genuine, be honest, and there is no kind of a limit.
Okay. That's it, Ashish. Your work is done here. So thank you very much for giving up some of your valuable time today. You know, I've valued from having a bespoke piece of software, and I know the amount of admin time it can save. So if there is anybody watching or listening, you know, if you've got something that's massively administratively intense, there's a possibility that software might be able to handle it for you. So it's definitely worth you know, getting in touch with Ashish to see how he can help, especially if it involves lots of complex spreadsheets and pivot tables, I guess. So anyway, so thanks again, Ashish. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul, as well, for the time. I had a lovely time talking to you as well.
Good.